So I've downed over a litre of water. I'm heading down now to reach hopefully the end, or rather the northern end of the island, before resuming the journey back and then across to the southern tip. There are many cargo containers and shipping detritus here, but also a view out over the coast onto another magnificent stretch of ocean. It's not known for its beaches, I suppose, because it's not known for any infrastructure. The beaches, they're not necessarily expansive and sandy. They're not places with amenities and guys coming at you trying to sell you bracelets and then getting really angry and pushy when you kindly, politely tell them that you don't want to buy that, or their cheap artificial sunglasses that they're carrying. It's a mercy to find a beach where not a soul stirs. But again, it may not be your cup of tea. Everyone is different. It looks like the shipping area will peter out. But there is a magic in the air, and it's difficult to deny that this is a place where you are free to dream. You are free to find a temporary home somewhere at the end of the world. And yet, having said that, this is not the end of the world. This is the center of the world. Everywhere else is the end of the world. I am at the center, wherever I am. But my view is Eurocentric, as is many people's view, which is that the West is somehow seen as the center of the world. It's always bigger and more important on the maps than it actually is. It's a tiny little geographical corner of Eurasia. Very, very little significance in the grand scheme of things. And yet they're always at the center of the world in their own eyes. But why is it not that someone in Oceania on a small island such as Tuvalu is not at the center of the world and everyone else at its periphery? Simply put, everything is relative.
Hello.
Hello. The heat bears down, but there's another litre of water in my pocket, should I need it, which I will. Hello. And another shop. It's a fuel station. Hello! A fuel station where you can stock up some things you need before you continue on to the end of the island. Hey! Looking cool, hanging out the back of the scooter, doing the V sign as he flies by. No one is doing what I'm doing, with good reason. Hello! None of the locals are walking like this, and of the 4 international visitors that there are on the island right now, I doubt any of them are doing quite what I'm doing, or if anyone has done a video like this. But I am keen to show you what it is like. I am keen to cross the island in one day from one end to the other, even if it kills me. So why am I doing this? I don't have a clear answer to give you. You know, when a famous mountaineer who climbed Mount Everest, I think his name was George Mallory, was asked once, why do you want to climb to the top of Mount Everest? He replied, because it's there. So why do I want to walk to one end of Tuvalu from the other? Well, because it's there, and because I can. And I know that's somewhat tautological, but are we not experiencing something unusual doing this? That is the essence of just being aware and just being here? Isn't that what we're seeking, to engage and connect, even for a temporary period? Those reasons are as good as any. Physical exercise is therapeutic. We don't ask, why do you go for a run in the morning? We don't ask why you raise children or have a mortgage or have a regular job, or any of the things that you have in a everyday life. You're simply copying your genes. But above that, you're seeking to master your environment. One way of mastering the environment is to experience it directly, to challenge yourself against it directly, and to see what there is to see and know how to tackle it. And so the answer that I can give you as to why I'm doing this is vague, but it's the best that will be offered. Because I can, and because I will. So I'm deeply grateful that you're watching, and let's keep going. Hello! Small friendly locals. Hiya! Hi. On the whole, you are met with smiles more often than any other expression. Even as people pass you by on scooters, they will smile. Hello. Hiya. The island life. Hello. Hiya. Hey. We can do this. We can do this. Onwards and upwards. Hello. You do hear the sound of the ocean and see little cul-de-sacs where you can actually go further than the apparent end of the trail, and so they lead out to places like this that take you straight onto the ocean, to really lovely expanse. You know, the ocean really is not a stone's throw away, but literally meters away from the only road in the island. This strip of land runs along the ocean. There's this colonialist attitude that still pervades the world. Where the traveller sees themselves as a hero in their own story. They've come to claim the place as their own. They've come to impose themselves on a place, and that was evident throughout history. For example, with the British Empire, which you'll find it very difficult to learn about in school if you are from Britain. Bloodthirsty empire that dominated a massive surface of the world and its population. But this attitude has resulted currently and not so currently in things like Band-Aid, save the world, save the children, they sing. And they are the rescuers, right? Heal the world, as if it's down to them to save the world, as if they can save the world. They can't save the world, and people only want to be respected and understood, their cultures to be understood. That's how you save people, by changing attitudes, so that those attitudes are not those where people come to impose on people in other cultures, but understand them so that they can trade with them, so that they can help with those people trade for themselves, set up their own businesses, to innovate and to create, rather than bartering goods for the benefit of those who exploit them, for those who give them aid, and then they become dependent on the aid and aren't necessarily willing or able to innovate or have economies that will result in their people being better off, because they're dependent on aid. And the aid always comes at a price, and it's a form of control. This is well written about in many books. You can find it written about even in travel literature. Paul Theroux and his books traveling across Africa. He takes quite an acerbic view towards humanity, but the observations are valid and they're very real. And so it's important not to come somewhere with an agenda of yourself as the hero, the conqueror, or some kind of great adventurer. You're not. You're not. In many cases, you're just a guy who very often is evading responsibility. The challenges that come with settling down, dealing with people, forming relationships, going about the boring everyday grind of work and the Tuesday of life, your everyday work that people engage in order to raise families, and that helps them to copy their genes in the end. They invest in people in order to stockpile resources to protect their families and to prosper in case something happened. And very few people go to learn, to explore, to set out. And then our explorer who sets out to view the world sees himself as some kind of hero, but like everyone else, he's playing a status game. The status game isn't one of dominance. It's not one of necessarily status, it's one of virtue. Very often people play these virtue games. They're critical of the government, they're critical of others. Really the subtext is this: look at me, I am moral, others are not moral. I want to be viewed with status, and ultimately, given any power, they would become like those in power, corrupted by its trappings, while others are out doing things, actually changing the world, hustling and running for politics. Our intrepid hero is there on the sidelines doing nothing but criticizing and playing the virtue game. But if they don't like the way that the world is run, having seen it, then go and run for office. Go and do something about it. But you're not. Someone else is. So you have that world exactly like it was always going to be. People who went out to do it are actually in charge. They went out and did it. And they have the power. But if you're here just to observe, then fine. And what you will see is this eventually. At the end of your journey, you will learn that people value order, people value hierarchy structures. The world is very unequal, and it can be a very difficult and tough place for those who do not have the resources. But you're opened up to a sense of freedom. And although there may not be free will, there are many opportunities out there to develop our own capacities as best we can. Very often the subtext is, look at me, I'm so brave, I'm so adventurous, I am the man who goes to every country in the world, I'm so streetwise, and I'm the adventurer and the hero. Well, you know, no one is immune from this, not even me. And when I say that this is the kind of adventurer, but I am not that adventurer. No, I'm someone who will show you what it's actually like and eschew the trappings of this vainglory. Then I am equally guilty. No, I am not a adventure YouTuber who is here to propagate cliche. No, I am authentic. I will show you what everything is really like, and I will go deeper than others. It's virtue signaling to the core. That is what we all do. But if we understand that we are doing it and why we are doing it, we'll maybe be more attuned with who we really are and our own position in this environment of ours. We won't seek to glorify ourselves unreasonably or manipulate the environment in a way that is out of synchrony with the way that it works by itself. We're not very important as people, as adventurers. We don't really matter. And the lesson that you learn when you travel, I can tell you this right now, whatever country you go to, no one cares about you. No one pays you any attention. They care about themselves and their own problems. Just like in your country, everyone is like this. You know, a greater understanding of the cultures of the world is beneficial if you do want to understand how the world works, because, for example, Papua New Guinea, I could have taken you to the highlands, an area of tribal conflict, danger and hostility perhaps in some respects, but I took you to an everyday place, a village at the edge of the coast in Tufi, showed you their customs and their traditions to see what it's really like, and it gives you more of a picture as to how the world works. You can see it in its everyday mundanity perhaps. Then you might have sensationalized. Don't sensationalize. I don't follow the media who sensationalize for commerce and commercial profit. Engage as it is, and you'll feel much more alive, much more connected. That I promise you.